Is it just me, or does it feel like the more things you have on your to-do list, the more unexpected stuff pops up that makes it harder to get anything done? For example, this is not the video I was planning to make this week. We had just wrapped up the holidays, celebrated both my and my oldest son's birthdays, and the boys were looking forward to heading back to school, while I was looking forward to having a nice bit of quiet time to catch up with work and housework. But then my son had to get some emergency dental work done, and we had to drive back and forth between 2 separate appointments because of the way that our insurance works to get those taken care of. And then a huge winter storm hit, which meant that school ended up getting canceled, along with my plans of slowly catching up with my to-do list. On one hand, it's wonderful to see them playing outside in the snow, because it's been 5 years since we've lived in a place where there was enough snow to form snowballs or make a snowman, and it was almost magical. But then on the other hand, every time I look at my to-do list, I feel this sense of rising panic because more and more things keep getting added to my to-do list, but the amount of time that I have to accomplish all of those tasks keeps getting shorter and shorter. And that's one of the worst feelings in the world, when you can't be present in the moment and take pleasure in the simple joys of life because you're so stressed out and overwhelmed with all of the tasks and responsibilities that you have on your to-do list that are weighing on your mind and making you feel like you're constantly falling farther and farther behind. And I figured that I can't be the only one who feels like this. So I thought that today I could take you along with me and I could show you some of the strategies that I use to reduce my mental load and get things done when life starts to feel overwhelming. Because the truth of the matter is that there's always going to be things popping up and things that don't go the way that we planned, but procrastinating and waiting for a quote unquote better time isn't the answer. And first up on this list, we have the double to-do list method. And what this means is sitting down with the Notes app open on your phone or on your computer, or simply a pen and a piece of paper. And what you want to do is you want to brain dump everything that's on your mind out onto this piece of paper. And then once you get everything out on the paper, after that, what you're going to do is you're going to split that list into 2 separate lists, a to-do list and a to-don't list. And so the things that are top priority will go on the to-do list, and the things that aren't so pressing and don't necessarily need to be immediately addressed will go on the to-don't list. So because my handwriting is horrible and I don't want to subject you to that, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to make a simple table on my computer so that everyone can read it, okay? And on the left, I'm going to have the to-do list, and on the right, I'm going to have the to-don't list. And on the to-do list, we're going to add all of the things that I need to immediately do. So for example, I immediately, like ASAP, have to wrap some birthday presents because my little son Diti has a birthday party to go to. And then also on that list, I need to go to the grocery store and buy groceries. I need to shoot a YouTube video, which obviously I'm doing right now with you. I need to also renew or return library books because they're supposed to be due tomorrow, and do homework and read with the boys because we're trying to catch up on their English since we just moved back to the USA. Now on the to-don't list, the things that I'm going to put there are things like folding the laundry, for example. That can wait. Scheduling a haircut. I've been meaning to get a haircut. Obviously, I have my hair up today because it's getting a little long and the ends are starting to breaking, but that's not pressing whatsoever. So we're gonna put that on the back burner. I've been meaning to catch up with Instagram and try to make a reel. Obviously, that's not something that's a top priority. I've also been meaning to list some things on eBay, but that can wait as well. And then finally, the video that I was planning to make was a kind of an entire house declutter and clean. That's not gonna happen right now either. We're gonna put that on the back burner too, and I will do that video next week. And speaking of which, if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, make sure to go down and hit the little red subscribe button and ring the bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss that video next week, because I'm going to be sharing a really nice long list of things that you can declutter in your house without fear, guilt, or regret. I've got a lot of things. I can't wait to share it with you. Once we've separated our tasks into to-do and to-don't lists, what we're going to do is shuffle our to-do list around and reprioritize the most essential tasks at the top. So as I look at my list, I know that I really need to wrap the birthday presents in either renew or return the library cards because both of those things need to be done by today and tomorrow. So I'm gonna put those up top along with shooting the YouTube video for this week because I need to get that to my video editor ASAP. Sorry, Evan. Sorry, Evan.
What am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do now?
And then I still need to go to the grocery store and do reading and homework with the boys, but I know that at least I have enough groceries to last us a few days. And since we did a lot of homework and reading yesterday, we could take a little bit of a break today and then start again tomorrow. Another thing we can do here is to reduce our expectations. Because a lot of times we procrastinate and put off doing things until we feel like we have the time to do them perfectly. But when we're really short on time and stressed out, we just need to focus on getting things done. So here's a gentle reminder that done is better than perfect. And when you are really stretched thin, it's just better to lower your expectations and focus on checking off the boxes. Another life hack for getting more done is to get as early of a start as you can. And I do this by waking up earlier than the rest of my family and starting my day with a morning routine that energizes and motivates me. I've always been a naturally early riser that wakes up around 5:30 to 6 a.m. or so. And when I wake up, I do a set of gentle stretches that take me around 10 minutes or so, and then I usually head to my computer to write some notes and scripts for work, or take a few moments to catch up with responding to comments and emails. But if you're not naturally an early bird like I am, I have the perfect book recommendation for you. Because at the end of last year, I had pre-ordered the updated version of Hal Elrod's book, The Miracle Morning, and I just finished listening to it this week, and oh my gosh, this book is literally changing my life. I will make sure to leave a link to the Miracle Morning book and audiobook down in the description box below for you to check out, along with a free 30-day trial of Audible if it sounds like something you might be interested in. But this book has totally motivated me to start waking up even earlier and try to be even more intentional with my mornings. And I'm hoping to share a video of me doing the 30-day Miracle Morning challenge with you sometime in the near future. So make sure to look forward to that. Tip number 5 to get more done is to reduce or eliminate distractions as much as possible. I know that I find it really distracting when I have social media notifications or text messages popping up that pull my attention away from the things that I'm trying to do. So when I really need to put my head down and focus, I'll make sure to disable notifications or silence my phone and put it screen side down next to me so that I'm less likely to be interrupted. I also recently purchased a new set of AirPods because my wired set had gotten worn out, and I am obsessed with them. Because not only is the sound quality amazing, but they also come with adaptive noise cancellation. And I know that I've talked about this before on my channel, but as someone who struggles with anxiety and who also happens to be a highly sensitive person who gets distracted and bothered by a lot of noise, these have been a total game changer for me. Because when you have kids, noise is just a fact of life, but it is so great when you figure out how to better cope with all of that noise without getting angry or overwhelmed by it. The next tip I have for you is to stop trying to focus on everything all at once and instead focus on just taking that next small step that's going to move you forward towards your goal. Here's a good example. One time in my high school AP English class, our teacher assigned all of us students a Shakespeare piece to memorize in 1 week. And I got the part in Macbeth where the witches are chanting over the fire, you know, the famous double, double, toil and trouble scene, which, by the way, I still remember every single word of today. But at the time, I remember looking at that wall of text and thinking to myself that there was no way that I was going to be able to memorize all of that in 1 week. But then the teacher taught us all a trick, which was to cover the entire script except for the first 1 or 2 lines and just focus on practicing those 1 or 2 lines until we had them memorized. And then after we had that down pat, we could uncover the next 1 or 2 lines and do the same thing all over again until we finally reached the end of the piece. And what do you know? Before I knew it, I could recite those Shakespeare lines in my sleep and still can to this day. So if you start feeling stuck or paralyzed when you think about the entire catalog of things that you need to accomplish, instead Think about how you can break those things down into small, more manageable chunks so that you can stay focused and keep moving forward. And finally, the last tip on this list is to actually ask for help when you need it, which sounds so simple and yet can be so hard to do, especially if you're super independent and you're used to doing things yourself. But if you have family, partners, or kids who can help you pick up the slack and help out with tasks and chores, don't be afraid to ask them to help you with things like putting away the dishes or running to the grocery store for you so you can get more done. Whew, I feel so much better after having this little chat with you. Make sure that you save this video for later so that you can come back the next time you're struggling to get things done. And don't forget to tune in next week for the epic decluttering video that I have planned. Or you can go and check out this video right now if you're ready to get started with decluttering. Or I'll see you next week. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.